the lightning round. So fasten your seatbelts, and here we go.
Hey.
It comes out that Bernie Sanders met with staffers to discuss a presidential run in 2020. Apparently, Bernie's first question is going to be, will I still be alive? First Lady Melania Trump decided not to go on a trip to Switzerland with President Trump, and instead she visited a Holocaust museum. When asked why, Melania said, it just sounded like more fun. In the news yesterday, North Korea suggested it would like to reunite with South Korea. I think something's up because today South Korea gave North Korea its Netflix password. We're in trouble. There's a new Harry Potter-themed cruise, and tickets start at $4,000 a person. For that price, you get an owl, a wand, and you get to be alone for the rest of your fucking life. Okay. Baltimore Ravens first-round draft pick was arrested recently on robbery charges. In other words, he's going to fit right in, folks. According to the National Travel and Tourism Office, tourism is down in America since we elected President Trump. The U.S. tourism industry, however, lost 40,000 jobs and $4.6 billion in revenue since the inauguration. I don't know why people wouldn't want to come here. We're so welcoming to foreigners, starting right from the top down. What do you think? We really don't need a wall. We already have Trump. Trump's his own wall, if you know what I'm talking about. No. Not only are other people from other countries not coming to this country, the president is not in the country right now. He wasn't. He was 6,000 miles away at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. He tweeted that night, we'll soon be heading to Davos, Switzerland, to tell the world how great America is and is doing. Our economy is now booming. With all I am doing will only get better. Our country's finally winning again. You know, again with the winning. He knows that's Charlie Sheen's thing, right? That's not his. It's another psychopath from Twitter, right? Don't know what it is. The World Economic Forum is an annual gathering of the super rich. It's funny how super rich people hang out together. You don't see that at other income levels. Oh, you make 80 grand a year? Me too. Let's do something. Take a trip. Right. New York Times had a big bombshell the other night. Everybody heard about this. They reported that Trump ordered White House counsel Don McGahn to fire Robert Mueller, who's running the Russia investigation. But the president backed off when McGahn said, if you make me do that, I'm going to quit, which obviously would have been a disaster for Trump. It still might be. You can't just fire every guy who investigates you. He's running the White House by the exact same rules as The Apprentice. He doesn't understand. He's like, nobody ever had a problem when I fired Meatloaf. Guess what? Yeah. The last time Trump fired somebody from the FBI, it was Jim Comey. And that led to Robert Mueller getting hired. If he fires Robert Mueller, maybe they'll put Special Investigator Hillary Clinton on the case. Who knows? There you go. I'll say this, Richard Nixon right now, somewhere down below, is rolling around his grave. How does he do it? Oprah's announced she'll not run for president in 2020. She did an interview and said running for president is not for her, right? If she's not going to run for president, can she at least give everybody a fucking car or something? What do you think?
Yeah, where's my car? You get a car. You get a car.
You can pass out cell phones.
Some pretty big news about the Russia investigation. Trump told reporters he's going to talk to Mueller, but he wants to talk to him under oath. Then Trump turned to his lawyers and said, relax, I'll have my fingers crossed the whole time. And he's willing to talk to Mueller under oath, which is going to get off to a weird start when Trump's told, raise your right hand. And he goes, my right hand or your right? Trump's actually in Switzerland for the World Economic Forum that he just ended up coming back from. When someone asked him about stakeholders, Trump said, I believe the word is fork. Okay. I read that John Kerry's considering now a run for president in 2020. Kerry has a great campaign slogan. John Kerry, sorry, I'm not Oprah. It's announced that the 90s sitcom Murphy Brown is coming back. Be Still My Heart. Another revival. You've also got Roseanne on ABC, Will and Grace on NBC, and The Twilight Zone on Fox News. A man broke a Guinness World Record by walking barefoot on a 120-foot-long path of loose Legos. This beats the old record set by every dad getting up to use the bathroom at night. President Trump arrived in Switzerland this week for the World Economic Forum, immediately converted his money into francs. as in hot dogs. President Trump also tried to dispel rumors today he has a strained relationship with British Prime Minister Theresa May and said they're on the same wavelength. Added Trump, if it wasn't for the language barrier, we'd be best friends. That's right, and according to a new poll, 29% of people believe President Trump is a good role model for children. That's all we needed to hear, said Child Protective Services. Pope Francis yesterday condemned fake news, saying the spread of false information dates back to the time of Adam and Eve, specifically the part about there being an Adam and Eve. Officials at a South Carolina zoo say an orangutan briefly escaped his enclosure on Monday, but then returned to his pen. Incidentally, the orangutan escaped his enclosure is Secret Service code for when Trump shows up at a policy briefing. And a South Carolina man was arrested this weekend for attacking a comedian during his show at a comedy club. Really? Frankly, I'm surprised it doesn't happen to me more often, said Bill Cosby. Thank you for coming. Please tip your waitress. Have a good evening.